about your stay, because we're trying to get them to change that, to not have anyone stay at that hotel, because we know people come and they're upset about it.
You wasted our time.
Yeah, so
you can't bring your phone or nothing. Well, first of all, I don't want you to drop the phone and scratch the glass, and you have to wear the stuff on your shoes. That way you don't scratch the glass.
Yeah.
But when Natalie's walking out there, now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to walk out there because this glass ain't going nowhere. Natalie's like,
tread lightly.
Pins and needles. She can't even walk. Ian, like an old lady.
Hey,
can't
but I
even
did
pick her
it.
legs
I
up
did
to
it.
walk out there. And
I don't like heights, man. I don't like heights.
Natalie, Ian,
Wait, if I don't have control, by that because you liked her. He was like, yeah. I said, was it her breast? He was like, yup. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm not where I don't like, people are probably like, oh my God, your husband's.
I'm the worst
I don't
person
care.
ever.
All right,
Go now.
Oh my God!
Hey guys, welcome to the Family Mess. I'm Noah, and have a nice day.
Good God!
I love the Family Mess. Oh
my God!
Welcome to the Family Mess Podcast. I'm your host, Ian, and this is my co-host, Natalie. The Family Mess, the podcast about life with kids and all things adulting. Let's talk. Welcome back. Hey, man, we got some good news to report, man. Natalie and I
what's the good news?
Natalie and I are doing our first ever video of the Family Mess podcast on video, and we'll tell you why towards the end of the episode here. Why we decided
we have
to do
not
this.
done that because Natalie's
Natalie's scared of everything,
to do this.
so we decided to go ahead and just do it. It's what would be a green fake screen.
Yeah. Okay, we decided to do the episode.
Oh God!
But we're not fully prepared for video, so we had to do makeshift to make the video work.
We don't know nothing about this crap, man.
No, we don't. But you know what they say? They say, what is it? Imperfect action. Just take the action. So we are doing an imperfect action. We apologize for our glows. We apologize for the weirdness with the thing. But yeah,
boy.
we're definitely. This is definitely a trial, and we just had to.
That's how it goes, though.
We really rigged it up for this to work.
That's how you got to
video.
do it, though. That's how it goes. That's how things work. That's how things start.
Yeah,
So,
but we were told to do video. So, but we'll talk about that later in the show as we talk about
that's good.
our vacations.
Okay.
All right.
Great. How are we going to start this? 5 minutes a pound? Go tell them about your 5 minutes a pound and.
My 5 minutes a pound.
No, tell the audience about your 5 minutes a pound and your success from the last show.
Well, I don't even remember if I said this on the last episode or not, but I did get my new personal best for 2 miles. I got 24 minutes and 25 seconds, which is huge for me.
24 minutes.
Yes, for 2 miles.
That's pretty good.
Well, shut up. Hey, being that my brother does 3 miles in like 20 minutes. But hey, it is what it is. I'm okay.
Man.
I'm okay. I'm where I'm at. But I did get my best time ever, under 11 minutes for my mile, which is really good. So the first mile I did under 11.
I mean, you've been working really hard, so it's not like you haven't improved. So that's an improvement from when you first did it.
From when I first started, I couldn't finish a minute. I could not run a minute when I started.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, you suck. Yeah, that's right. But
you're so mean.
No, just because I'm thinking in my head, I'm not going to say it. But you
just said it. You just said it.
But you proved me wrong. That's all that counts. Is I
always prove you wrong, Ian. Because you always want so bad to be right, and I make sure, and I don't ever bet you unless I'm sure that I'm right.
Yeah, like when you saw Miss K's van at the church, and you were wrong.
Hey,
let's pull in the parking space. I'm like, let's pull in the parking space. Natalie, wrong. That was her van.
Yeah, but usually I don't bet unless I know I'm going to be right.
You lost that one.
I'm going to be right. It's like when you wanted to go in the military, and I was like, no, bro. And I was like, I will bet money. If I don't make this much money,
that was a life
in this
decision.
much time.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Hey,
I'm glad I didn't go to the military. Oh, God.
That was God right there, though.
Yeah,
because Ian and I, I'll explain. So Ian wanted to be a chaplain in the reserves.
Yeah.
And I always said I didn't want to be married to somebody who's going to be gone. Like it just don't work. Ian and I don't work long distance very well. So I told him that I didn't want to be married to somebody. This when our kids were young too, right? So the kids were young. And it was just, I knew it was going to be a lot for me because our kids are always crazy when they're little. And so I told him he's like, well, I need to do this so we can get extra money. And I said, well, if I can make, I think it was
a good amount,
about like $2,000 or $3,000 extra a month or something.
Yeah. It was a pretty.
And I had 6 months to do it. And he was like, I said, okay, if I can make this much, well, you won't go. He's like, bet. I said, okay.
Yep.
And he was like,
this.
I know I'm going to win this bet.
Yeah,
There ain't no way.
I was like, there ain't
no way
nope.
you're going to make that money.
Nope.
And what happened? I got like 2 raises.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Some weird stuff happened at work
man.
at the time, and I got 2 raises, and I made the money.
Yeah.
And I said, oh,
I guess I'm
I
staying.
guess you're not going
Damn
anywhere.
it. I'm staying in this house.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but anyway, I digress. But yeah, so I did for as far as my 5 minutes to pounds. So I have been running. I'm gonna sign up actually for a 5K in September. We'll see how that goes.
Yep.
But my weight has been stable since I lost my weight with the shot. I did get the shots thing I told y'all about. I got the shots, I lost I lost like almost 30 pounds or something. I don't know.
Did anybody ever call you about those shots after the show?
What shots?
The last when you were telling them about it. Nobody called you about it?
I didn't talk to anybody about shots. So, but so I've been able to keep my weight off and I'm eating better. But my next step is now I want to move to full clean eating because I can feel like my body's doing things and I need to clean up my diet to like an autoimmune type diet where you don't eat any inflammatory foods, no dairy, no gluten. What's the other one? No dairy, no gluten, and there's something else you can't eat, but mainly dairy and gluten.
No sugar.
Oh yeah, and sugar. Yeah, dairy, gluten.
How you
and
feel
sugar.
about sugar? Because that's your kryptonite.
Working on it. But I know I need to do this, so I'm gonna figure it out.
Maybe I
somehow.
should. Can I do it with you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be eating trying to eat as much real food as possible. That's my next
It's
step.
so hard though. Sugar is so good.
Real food. Like I ain't going vegan and all that stuff. No, because I still like to eat meat, but I just will clean up because meat's not necessarily inflammatory if you're eating good meats. So I just want to eat like regular stuff, but not a lot of bacon and stuff like that. But I'm gonna still eat meat.
Tastes
so
so
just getting
good.
rid of sugar,
Yeah.
dairy, and the gluten.
Okay,
which are
that's
the
good.
worst and the best at the same time.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, I recently took a trip out west to work.
Yes.
And,
so that's what we're talking about today. Ian.
Yeah, I took a trip out west for work, and I was going to be out there for about a week. And I told Natalie, I'm like, hey, part of my work is I'm going to be.
You ain't tell us what we talking about.
Oh, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about our trip. You adding all this extra.
We took a trip. Shut your ass up.
We talking about the trip. That's what we're talking about.
We're talking about a trip to Las Vegas that now I took about a week ago. And we wanted to tell everybody about the different things that we did, people we met, and we thought this podcast was the best forum to tell everybody about it.
You didn't want to talk about it. I'm just here.
Well, I mean, how many times have you been to Vegas now?
This is my second time.
I thought this is only your second time?
Dude, we went before.
This is like my third or fourth time.
Okay, well, congrats to you. I've only been one time. Or this is my second time.
But Nathalie and I don't get caught up in this Vegas stuff too much. I mean, we're not big gamblers.
No,
we're not big drink. We're not boring.
We are boring.
No,
Dude,
we're absolutely
we went
not
to Vegas.
boring.
Hold on. We went to Vegas. We had no alcohol.
We didn't even have one drop of alcohol.
Wait, look, I just disappeared. This video thing. Okay, this bootleg
video sucks,
well,
man.
Hey, we're doing
Listen,
it in perfect action.
It's
we're
the
doing
first
it.
time,
Yes,
and I think
doing
we're
it.
going to get better as this thing goes on, but we have to start somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get the right equipment next time. But anyway, so I have to keep very still.
Yeah, you can't move much. Look at your mic's almost gone.
Stop making me laugh. All right, so yeah, we went to Vegas. We didn't gamble. We didn't drink. We didn't get to look at any hotels. We
didn't see a damn show. We didn't see a show. We didn't do the Vegas nothing.
No. I don't even know what that is.
We didn't do nothing involving the Strip except that one night
we didn't have a real Vegas tourist experience.
No, we didn't. Well, I think because we did it before for a little bit, but this time I think we had more time. But even then, I think it wasn't totally planned.
I didn't plan nothing because I didn't have time to plan.
I just said, "Hey, Natalie, show up and we'll hang out for a couple of days," and that's literally what she did. She literally showed up. We hung out for like a couple
no, hold on. You skipping a whole bunch of backstory.
What
here.
did I skip?
So we took a trip to DC. I think in January.
Let me tell him.
In January.
Let me tell him why.
Well, no, you could explain. I'm just going to talk.
Okay.
I'm just giving it back.
Okay.
So we took a trip in January to DC.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was Philadelphia.
No,
it was DC. Okay.
It was DC.
Okay.
So we took this trip to DC, and I think we had a timeshare thing. So we took the trip to DC on this little timeshare thing. I think it was I don't know. Anyway, we went to DC. So when we're walking through the lobby, there's this lady. I'm gonna just describe the lady. This is black lady. She had a big afro and she had big breasts.
Yes.
Okay. She was very nice, very friendly, and she was like, "Hey," and of course Ian's like, "Hey," and so. She's like, "Oh, well, you guys, can you come and talk to me? Let me tell you about this timeshare thing or whatever. You guys can come and have another visit to somewhere or whatever."
Damn.
And so Ian's like,
I was looking at her boobs the whole damn.
I
She
was
knew what
like-
she was doing, man.
I was like, we don't need this, Ian. Ian's like, yes, we do. We need this trip. We need to buy this trip. I said, Ian, we don't need to. I said, I don't
man.
want to spend the money. I'm our money person
I got
in the
lost
family.
in the boobs, man. Her breast. I was like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm like, oh.
I already knew once Ian was decided that he was getting this thing, I knew it was because of the lady. And I was just like, so after we're done and we buy this 5-day, 4-night trip to Vegas,
Oh my God.
I was like,
I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed.
I said to Ian, I said, did you buy that because you liked her? He was like, yeah. I said, was it her breast? He was like, yup. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm not where I don't like, people are probably like, oh my God, your husband's,
I'm the worst
I don't
person
care.
ever.
Ian and I talk about men and women
I don't
just
give
the
a
same.
damn.
Yeah, we saw a lady at Costco today. Oh my! I said, Ian, she got a bubble pop booty.
Oh,
man.
she did.
I have not seen it. Her butt was so round and it was
listen,
nice.
There's no way that butt was real. It was round. Like if you flicked it with your finger, it wouldn't move. That's how.
Yeah.
Even Natalie was like,
Well, I pointed it out to you. I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn, look at that girl's booty. She got a C
man,
booty.
oh man,
But-
it was too perfect. I was like, no ass is that perfect. There's no way it's
Well,
that.
it looked good.
Man.
So I don't worry
slappable.
about stuff like that with Ian. So we talk about whatever. If it's guy, girl,
Don't judge me.
whatever.
And if you do,
but
I
I
don't
already
care.
knew that's the reason why he bought this damn timeshare.
I did.
Which probably makes it all the worse. Why? And it was
man.
we had a bad experience.
She got me, man. She got me. No, because she described the room as.
That's your karma for buying this trip based
Wait,
on
hold
breasts.
Wait.
On breast criteria.
How's that a karma issue?
Because you bought it under
What, fake circumstance?
under
Not real?
breast circumstances. That's why. Breast circumstances.
Stupid, dude.
You didn't buy the trip because, you know what, Natalie? It'll be great if we go on a trip together.
Oh, my
you bought
God.
the trip because she has some big titties.
She
That's
did,
why,
man.
That's why. And
They look good,
and
too.
you
I had horrible thoughts in my head when I was looking
Ian
at her,
was
too.
talking to her, and they were just laughing with each other. I was like, oh, my
And the whole
Lord.
time I was like, oh, man, your boobs are huge. Damn.
But she was real nice, though.
She knew what she was doing.
Yes.
Man.
So Ian bought
Lucky I'm not single.
a timeshare for a mini timeshare trip. You know those mini ones that they offer you. We didn't buy a timeshare. It was a mini trip, which then you got to go to the presentation again.
We've been a bunch of these.
I don't know. I'm done with them things.
After this
done.
experience, I think I'm done.
Done.
I'm done.
It's not. I'll
Yeah.
pay my money and go on my vacation.
I'm no more. If I'm walking through an airport, no, I'm not
Yeah.
doing nothing. I'm
So
done.
we ended up going to Vegas from the trip that he bought from the lady with the breasts at the other hotel in DC. And when I booked it, they were like, "Oh, this hotel." So I looked it up. I didn't do deep dive, which I normally do, into the reviews. All I did was I just looked at it. Was like, oh, it's a 4-star. It had 4 or 5 stars based on reviews. So I'm like, okay, I'm like 2 points. It's like 23,000 reviews or something. I was like, okay, this has been around. It's good. Yeah.
Are we gonna start there first?
Yeah. I really wish I took a picture.
Are we gonna start there first?
Where else? That's the beginning of our trip.
All right, let's start there
It's
first.
The beginning.
Let's start there first.
I guess it was the beginning is before when I got there and the eyebrow lady.
Okay. So now I'm working and we're staying at like another hotel that I'm staying at for
Before
work.
the timeshare.
Before the timeshare. And so Natalie and I are driving and she sees an eyebrow place. She goes, Ian, I want to get my eyebrows. And I'm like, Natalie, don't get your eyebrows done at a different place than you're used to. And I said, and listen, I don't know nothing about eyebrows, but I know when you go to a different town, don't go get something done like nails or eyebrows or something that used to get done at your hometown. Don't do it. And I told Natalie, I was like, Natalie, you look fine. No, and Natalie's very particular about her eyebrows. The thing is,
Well, because I have very difficult eyebrows for people to do. I got one lady who does my eyebrows.
but the thing is, nobody would notice your eyebrow if you never.
I do because I notice people's
You
eyebrows.
do.
Maybe because I'm conscious of my
Yeah,
own.
you're conscious of yours, but if you never point it out, no one's gonna look at your eyebrows. No one will really, but it's you.
do. People look
And so I told Natalie, I was like, Natalie, forget about it. Just wait till we get home. Your eyebrows look fine. And then she's like, okay. The next morning, Ian dropped me out the eyebrow place. I'm like,
Well, the eyebrow place had a 5-star
I
review.
told
It had
her.
like a bunch of
I
people,
told her.
and it was all good. So I was
Don't.
like, all I needed was a
Don't.
cleanup. It wasn't for the full.
Don't.
Like I would only go to my lady
Go.
to do a full eyebrow thing.
You won't
Like if
listen to nothing.
I waited too long or whatever. But I was like, oh, it's just a cleanup. And even though my eyebrows are difficult, I'm like, it's just cleanup. It's just cleaning up the little hair. And that's why I have like no makeup or anything on right now.
She
so
don't
y'all
know.
can see my
She
poor
don't
eyebrows.
know.
I'll show y'all
This
my
lady don't know what cleanup is. This lady is in Las Vegas cleanup. Las Vegas cleanup is not the same thing as Altamont Springs
right.
cleanup.
So I get in the chair.
Oh my
The
God!
lady was taking way too long on my
this
first
is the
eyebrow.
best part. This is the best part.
And all she had to do, because they already had their shape, because my lady had the shape. She was just cleaning up. What's the extras,
This is the
right?
best part of the trip.
So I go in.
Oh,
I go
man.
in the shop, and I'm sitting there, and she's taking way too long to do my eyebrow. And I was like, "Oh my God, Lord!" But I said, "You know what? I'm into this new positive thinking.
Lord ain't gonna help you now. Go ahead.
I disappeared again. Hold on. So I don't know why the camera's moving on me today. All right. So the lady, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is way too long. But I'm like, okay. I'm like, Nathalie, everything's going to be good. Your eyebrows are going to look great. They're going to look
You
great.
saw she's closing her eyes
My
in the
eyes are
video?
closed. That's why I was sitting there like
Look
that.
at her
My
eyes.
eyes closed.
That's what she's
It's
looking
gonna
at in
be
the
great.
video.
It's going to be great.
Yep.
And then she does the other one. And then I open my eyes
Wait.
and she holds up the mirror. And I said,
Nathalie looked concerned.
I said to her, I said,
She had one eyebrow go up.
I said, I
Like-
asked you
like-
for a
like
cleanup.
this?
I said, she
like
made
this?
my eyebrow. She gave me an arch.
then the
I don't
other-
have an arch. And they still, you can't see them good, thank God, but
Oh,
they jacked
man.
up. I have no pencil
Hey,
on right
Nathalie
now.
came in the car and I'm like, I didn't even say, I ain't saying nothing to you. I said, I'm not saying a damn
Look.
thing to you. And Nathalie goes, you're right.
Oh, so wait. So after the lady says, I'm like, you messed up my eyebrows. I said, look, this one has an arch. It didn't have an arch. I just asked you to clean it. She goes, no. I just cleaned it up. I said, no, you did not. I said, you messed up my eyebrow. So the guy quickly calls her in the back and he's like, I guess, and he tells the other lady, fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other lady she looks at the other lady and she's like, and I was like, okay, well, can you help me? She's like, yes, I will fix it. Yeah. So she kind of fixed it. But at that point I was like, oh hell, if I stay in here any longer, I'm going to come out here looking crazy. Like some Elvira stuff or something. I was like, nah. So, and Ian never notices anything. And sadly, as soon as I get in the car, he looks at me and goes, oh, what the hell happened to you? And he just starts
Like
laughing.
half her eyebrow was gone. Literally, the morning I woke up, her eyebrow was there. Half of it was gone. It was like a thin, and she looked concerned. She made an arch.
Yes,
and,
because this one has an arch,
and it looked
and this one,
and she looked concerned. I'm
this
like,
one does
hey,
not have an arch.
what's wrong with half your face is concerned, the other half is normal. I was like,
oh my God!
I ain't saying
I had a
nothing.
pencil and I had to just fill it in. As
I
best
didn't
could.
say no. And the thing is, for the rest of the day, I didn't even notice it. But at that moment, I noticed it. I'm like, I told you so. I'm not saying nothing else. I told you so. I was like, you don't listen. I said, I would have never thought of going someplace else in a different town.
All right. Well, can I say, and I had a feeling that Ian might be right, but I was hoping he was wrong. But I will say lesson learned, and I will only go to my lady at the mall, and she's the only one that I will let do my eyebrows from now on. So I hope she never retires or I never move, because I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I mean, literally, my eyebrows are super complicated.
You should shave them off and get them tattooed on.
No. Because then I got to put chemicals. You know how I'm about chemicals
Oh,
and stuff.
get on
That's why I
natural
even got
dye,
a tattoo or
like an
nothing.
animal dye or something.
They have stuff, but she been trying to get me to tint my
like,
eyebrows
like
for
beaver,
months.
like beaver pee or something.
Yeah, she's been trying to get
Something
me to
like
do
that,
the tint, but
I
I'm
think.
like, I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, but that was my first
Oh yeah,
taste of
I forgot about
Las
that.
Vegas debacle.
I forgot
was
about
my
that.
poor eyebrow.
Ooh,
But yeah, I don't know if y'all can see, but this one I got thinner. My eyebrows are thin at the edge. I think I have like a
Nathalie,
thyroid thing.
what are you so concerned about today?
No, but I'm just saying. I'm just
No,
talking
I'm
about
making
my
fun
eyebrow.
of your concern
Oh,
look in your eyes.
shut up. Yeah, so but that's okay. That's okay.
Sorry.
I love myself as I am with my imperfect eyebrows. I can live with that. Because I've seen some girls with some crazy looking eyebrows, so I can live with that. The ones that they got the ones that go choo choo. I've seen those. I don't have those, so I can deal with the one.
Well,
my one
I guess that would be
concerned eye.
our first little, I guess, drama.
Yes, that was before we got to the hotel,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then now we were okay. So I get to the hotel, I go check in. First, I tell the lady our name or my name, and she's like, "You're not in here." And I
Oh
was like,
boy.
"What you mean?" So I'm like, "Okay, well maybe it's under my husband's name." So I gave him his name, and she's like,
We should have known.
"He's not in here." And I was like, "What are you talking about? How is he not in here?" I said, and so then finally she figured out that I spelled the name, and she was like, "Oh, I have an M at the end, not an N." I said, "Okay." So she found us. I was like, "Thank God." And then she's like, "Do you want to upgrade for $100 to your upgrade your room?" And I was like, "Well, what am I going to get if I upgrade?" And she's like, "Oh, this is an older hotel." So, and that was my first like red flag, like older hotel. Oh, hell. So she's like, oh, it's an older hotel and you'll be closer in the room. I said, was the room going to be nicer? She's like, it's a little bit bigger.
Lies.
I was like,
All
well, it might have been nicer, but it wasn't a whole lot of improvement.
Listen, we should have known.
So
what was the first thing I said when I drove up? I'm like, man, look at that old hotel with the stuff on the window. That's what I said. Before we even knew we were going to stay, we're just driving by and I'm like, man, look at that hotel up there now. There's stuff on the windows and falling apart.
This hotel is one of the oldest hotels in Vegas.
Oh my God.
On the Strip, yeah.
Oh.
And we found out this hotel is going to be torn down soon. So I was just like
in a couple months.
After the fact.
Yeah, after the fact.
Yeah, we found out. But anyway, so we get up in the room. And for real, the room looked like a motel.
We should have known as soon as we got off the elevator when the carpet was orange or whatever color that damn carpet.
That was not orange. It was just like an older style carpet, Ian. It wasn't horrible. The carpet was not horrible.
Renaissance patterns on the ceiling.
Yeah.
No.
And Ian and I are super modern people. That's the kicker. We're not into like vintage or old stuff. We like modern stuff.
Very modern.
So that's part of the problem. So we get in the room and it looks like a motel room, not a hotel, a motel. And my hotel limits are the Marriott. Like it was not a Marriott by any means, but the Courtyard Marriott is my baseline for hotels. Like I don't stay in anything lesser than a Courtyard Marriott. Like that's about it. And so nah, bro.
Our hotel we were staying at before outside the Strip was better than the room we're staying at now.
Yeah,
that's how rough this room was.
And that was a Holiday Inn. That was a nice Holiday Inn.
Yeah, that was a Holiday Inn Express.
It was a Holiday Inn Express.
That one was nice, bright.
Yeah.
I mean, everything new in there. I mean,
Yeah, this place there was barely any light. I turned the lights on. I couldn't even see.
I'm like, Natalie, turn the lights up. That's it. It was like damp. I mean, not damp, but very low in the room. The lights would never go.
You could hardly see.
Very yellow looking lights, so it made you feel down when you went in there. And I think that's done on purpose to get you out of the rooms to go to the casinos. Maybe because
it was down. It was.
Man.
Then the furniture was all old looking.
Oh my God!
Now the room was clean. Yes. I will say that. Actually, I should preface that. For the most part, the room was clean.
Yeah, it was clean.
But
you could open the windows.
Except for my hair, the hair thing. I found the hair thing. But the room was clean. But for Ian and I, the way we're used to staying, I mean, I'm semi bougie when it comes to hotels. Not
yes, you can say we're hotel snobs. You can say it.
So, not even a snob because we stay at the Courtyard Marriott. That's like a baseline.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, this place, nice, decent. I was mad as hell.
Yeah. So anyway, the furniture was all old, and it was like the colors were fading. It was just an old room, and it looked like a motel more than a hotel or a resort. Because this is actually considered a resort hotel.
Yeah.
So that was the only bad part. But yeah. So
was that? Did I try to beat that guy's ass in the parking lot before we checked in? Was that the same thing?
Yeah.
Was that the same thing?
It was like, that was the next day, but yeah.
Oh, that was the next day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian got the parking lot situation. They had parking problems there, so it was a little rough. But anyway, so let's move on about our trip.
So what did we do the first day?
Well, no, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But the reason why we didn't do any gambling or anything is because we mostly went to what do they call them?
Red Rock.
We went to the
Rock Canyon.
They call national parks. We went to the national parks.
Yeah, we did a lot of outside activities, drove around the area. That's why our main purpose was to do the outside stuff.
Yeah, so we went to Red Rock Canyon.
What's the other one called?
Mount
Charles.
So we went to look at this house because we wanted to see what houses look like in Vegas. It was like a new building development, and the guy told us about this place called Mount Charleston, and it was only in like an hour away, and the temperature was going to be like 30 degrees less.
Oh yeah,
and it was like 100 plus in Vegas. I'm never going back in the
110 summer. When we left that day.
Yeah, y'all ain't catching me in Vegas in the summer.
Never doing it again.
So we were like, oh yeah. When he told us that, we're like, yeah, we're going up there because we need to get away from this heat. So we went up to Mount Charleston. It was like 45 minutes, and we saw like horses, wild donkeys. Yeah.
Can we give a shout out to our friends we met too?
Oh yeah, we met this really nice couple.
Shout out Kevin and Brittany. Thank you guys.
Yes, and they gave us like a whole bunch of things to do in Vegas, other things that are kind of off the beaten path, places to eat and things like that. So yeah, they were very, very nice people. Oh, the reason why we even met them. Forgot about. Oh, yeah. All right, so we get to this Mount Charleston.
We were about leaving when this happened.
Yeah, we were about to leave. So we were walking. I think Ian had to go to the bathroom or something. We were walking over, and there's this lady with this big old Great Dane. And so we're looking, and it had the dog. There was like balloons and stuff for the dog with the lady. There's a lady and a dog.
Yes.
And there's like balloons that say happy birthday and everything. So we're like, oh, there's a birthday party.
Yeah,
okay.
we're waiting for the people to show up.
I'm looking for the kids. I'm looking for the,
We're waiting.
But it's just a lady and her dog. So Ian and the guy Kevin that we end up talking to, they make eye contact like, hey, that lady's crazy. This lady,
what?
no, she didn't even have like a friend with her.
Oh.
She was throwing her dog a party, like literally a party. She had 2 big bags with gifts. She had balloons, and the dog with this is a nice Great Dane, beautiful little dog or big dog, had a collar on, like a bandana that said happy birthday.
Oh my God.
And then I look at the cake and I was like, that ain't no cake. It was this big like cottage cheese mound with bacon covered over it.
Yeah.
And that's the dog's cake because it was for the dog.
I didn't know it was for the dog. I just thought it was a weird like a cake when I first saw it.
Yeah, but that was the dog's cake. So this lady.
Oh my God, this lady was this lady was weird, man.
So she's like yelling at people because they're in her shot.
Oh yeah. She's taking a picture.
Because she's taking a picture of the dog.
Move, please. Can you move? And the guy looks at her like, okay.
Yeah, because he's in the back.
He's in the background
of her dog's picture, and her. So she had a photo session. She's yelling at the dog because the dog won't look at her, and the dog.
This is not a person. This is a dog. This is
Yeah.
a Great Dane. He's just trying to do his Great Dane
trying
stuff.
to chill out. Yeah, but she and I had never seen such a thing. But she literally threw this whole
We watched
party
we watched the entire
for her
thing.
dog.
It was such
yeah,
entertainment.
She took pictures. She fed him his cake, and they never opened the gifts though. She just got the gifts.
I've never seen anything like
And
this.
everybody was kind of looking at her like
The entire
what in the world?
place kind of sat down to just watch this lady have her little celebration with the dog, like
Yeah.
by herself. And no one even came over with her. Just celebrated with the dog.
But that's how we ended up
we
talking to Brittany and Kevin.
Yeah, we didn't leave
was
for a long
because-
time after that. We just talked.
It was because of that lady and her dog. That was.
Oh my God!
Hey guys, welcome to the family mess. I'm Noah. And have a nice day.
Good God!
I love the family mess.
Go ahead, baby!
Oh,
Oh my God!
Mess, family mess. It's funny.